Hello, Lifers. This is Jason Love with Jason Loves Life, and I just got back from my gig, and I'm going to show, Leah and I recorded a Q&A a few days ago before I left because I wasn't sure when I'd get home or how late. But I wanted to say I just got home. It's been 4 days since last seen the kids, and Frumpkin's he's made some progress. I'm not sure where he picked these up. Hey, Frumpkin, stop drinking my coffee. All right. What do you want to say?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Whoa! Wow, that was impressive. I know you said that before. Yeah, don't drink my coffee. Do you want to play? There's no coffee in there, though. Did you say hi?
Hello, Daddy.
Yeah?
With Ben.
Are you happy? Are you happy Daddy's home?
Yeah. The pizza. The pizza coffee.
Yeah, that's good coffee.
I remember that coffee too. Isn't it, Daddy?
It
is.
It is. I'm not sure what you said, but it is. All right, I love you.
That's a coffee too.
All right. Now, time for the Q&A. Hello, Lifers. It's Jason Love with Jason Loves Life, and I'm here with the lovely Leah Love for our sit-down weekly early bird. This will be early. Did you want to add anything?
Stop asking me that. I've told you before.
So we got some questions from Francisca, and again, we mentioned this already, but
Is Rubby still here?
no.
Damn it.
And it was, I think I looked at it was Ruby, but I might be wrong.
Well, I don't know anybody named Rubby.
Well, it could have been Buddy, and I had the R. So
You go from Ruby to Rubby to
well,
Buddy.
I thought about that. If it was Buddy got 2 D's?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways.
But B, you put B's and whatever. Moving on.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Francisca had some questions. I wanted to just congratulate her again on getting her child evaluated because it makes a huge difference. Getting it early.
It's not an easy thing to do, so.
Yeah, exactly. And mentioned getting resources. It sounds like you already have some speech therapy. Awesome. We haven't actually tried occupational therapy, although I think Frumpkin does get it in school a little bit.
I don't know. We can't add one more thing to his plate.
I know, but they're doing like art projects, stuff that an occupational therapist does, but I don't know. To be honest with you, I've worked with occupational therapists and I still don't know
What they do.
It's pretty much whatever their organization decides that they do. Like I worked with one and all she did was art projects, so that's what he's doing in school already. So how is running errands with the kids is the question.
I don't like it.
And because she mentioned she doesn't take both, so she asked how is it with both.
It's a lot better if I only have Pumpkin to take, because a lot of the time she just sits in the basket while I push, or she'll walk next to me, but Pumpkin will just stick with me initially, and then he'll just walk away, and he thinks it's a game, he thinks it's funny, and I have to run him down and catch him, and it's not really easy to do in flip-flops.
We have a little bit of an advantage, which can also be annoying because I work from home, so
I can just leave him here sometimes.
Yeah, and that can go both ways. So like the other day, sometimes he's fine the whole time, and I can just do my work, and he does his stuff. But like the other day, he wanted to go outside, and so it's like, man,
He really, really wanted to go to the park, and I felt so bad because his schedule. Some of the therapists had been sick, and they changed their schedule last minute. I had been planning on going outside with him, and it just didn't work out that day. I didn't want to take him, just me and him and her, grocery shopping, and so he wasn't going to get any outside time, so I had to ask to take him out.
So Leah went to the store with Pumpkin, and then we ended up not going to the park. We actually played in the alley, so he got to ride his bike and stuff like that.
That's good. He likes that.
So I know, not everyone has that, and that's one of those things where I feel I can imagine it's really hard. Well, we know it's really hard. So hats off to anyone that pulls that off. And then how does Frumpkin react to no?
He thinks it's funny.
Well, and she was specifically talking about like at the store with toys and food. He does pretty good on that stuff, I feel. His biggest issue is running off, but like he won't be like, I want those. He won't be like candy and then be a pain the whole time about candy. But he can be pain about other stuff.
You can distract him, though, by going, oh, Daddy needs some coffee. Will you pick the coffee off the shelf? But if I do that, then he just starts picking random things off the shelf and putting them in the cart. Sometimes that's okay, because I can get rid of it at the checkout, but sometimes it goes too far.
Yeah, so he doesn't really have that issue, but he has his own things that are really annoying. And that's nothing that we've done. We can't take credit for that in any way that he does, I don't feel like we can take credit for him not having that, because I know that's a common kid thing, like, I want that toy. We actually, I guess in some ways we can. We never really bought him any, and you mentioned that early on, not wanting to buy him anything.
Really insisting on never buying candy from the checkout.
Yeah.
I do not want to be there and have to hear that screaming because no one will buy the kid a piece of gum or something. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and so we still, it helps that he doesn't, if we buy him stuff, it's not necessarily like him being like, I want that, and then he gets it. So I think it's that, kind of setting that expectation. I think once you go past that expectation, once you set that expectation, there's really no way to completely go back.
Mm-mm.
But again, I think it's also partially like just Frumpkin himself hasn't really picked that up yet, and it might be something we have to tackle at some point. Any other thoughts on that?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, yeah. When we did take him with a therapist shopping, the reward for behaving well was to walk from the grocery store next door to the pet store.
Mm.
But I'm not really sure if he understood that was what was happening, if he behaved well.
Yeah, actually, that's interesting you brought up, because we've done, not necessarily at the grocery, feels like grocery store is a little bit easier, but we've taken him to like the bookstore, and I don't know what it is about the bookstore, but usually about halfway through, I have to take him out and kind of like run him around a little bit.
Well, there's nothing he can do in like a Barnes and Noble, or no, Half Price Books.
Half Price Books, yeah, I'm talking about Half Price.
There's nothing he can do there. She's a bit more patient, but it's true. He does not like it in there.
Yeah.
It's very boring for him.
Even though he there's stuff that's interesting to, I think it's because there's stuff that's interesting to him, but that he can't touch it, a lot of it, because there's toys. I mean, at the grocery store, you can kind of like avoid the toy stuff. He doesn't really see the toy stuff, but there's like a kids section, and I think he's interested in that stuff. But again, he can't open any of it, or
Yeah, he can't be free with it.
so it
So
doesn't
he gets
really help.
bored faster, and then you do have to take him out.
Yeah, I guess that answers that question. Anything else?
You're the one with the pad.
No, anything else on that? Because you brought up the.
It's like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's sorry. We're a little bit. Yeah, taking him out to. Taking him to places, and I think we're getting better just by doing it. So I do think that it's good to do, and going with the ABA therapist will be even better, because it's not only like we're getting better, but then Frumpkin gets to know the.
And I get to work
expectations.
on my goal of him holding onto the cart when we go through the store, which I don't think he'll do. And it's nice that they say, if you want to go see that, that's fine, but you have to ask Mama.
Mm-hmm.
And that means maybe he'll do less running away. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that has any kind of effect.
Yeah. The last question is people's reactions, actually, I didn't write down. All I wrote down as the question was people's reactions, and I think it's one of those things that
People's reactions?
well, you just have to get used to the people staring when.
Oh.
I feel like we don't have too much issue partially because like we have the advantage of usually if we are at the store most of the time. It's either one kid or like both of us go.
I think I used to be that person.
That stared at people.
Yeah, but whenever I think of that, I think the high school me is like, control your child. Oh my god. And now I'm older, and I know how stupid younger he was. Yeah. So,
I think, a big part is just getting over it. I mean, even that happened is it today? Something happened where there was a screaming child, and it was at the restaurant. And I actually thought, I wonder if that kid had autism. Was my first thought for some reason. Even
like,
though I know
don't judge. There could be something extra you don't know about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I feel like that's a big part of.
I do that all the time. I hear crying children or parents being harsh, and I'm like, don't be quick to judge anymore.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Right. You don't know that specific, and I'm sure the kid probably didn't, and was just used to, that was his tactic to try to get. I forget what he was trying to get, like a toy or something.
I don't know, but I think all children are spoiled rotten to begin with.
It's sort of their nature to test those boundaries.
Yeah,
so.
that is their nature.
Yeah, there's not really much you can do. Like, again, we had the advantage of, I don't think we've gotten it too much only because we get to work as a team and I can take him out if it gets to that level usually. But I mean, not every time, or like if I've taken them both to the store and.
Okay, but like people's reactions, like what kind of person is reacting loudly enough to try and shame you?
I think it's just the stares. And the stares there's not like being stared at. And you can't.
Oh, yeah, if anybody ever gave me a stare, some people might get that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. There's not much you can do about it, so I kind of just deal with it.
Muscle through.
Yeah.
You just gotta muscle through.
Yeah.
I mean, stupid other people don't your situation. I mean, really, it's silly to care about what strange jerks are thinking about you.
Yeah.
When they don't know you.
And I think a good tactic too is you don't know what they're thinking. I'm sure, like that kid, I'm sure I stared a little bit, but it wasn't like my stare was basically thinking.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah, it's like I was basically thinking, oh, poor parents. You know what I mean? Not like poor kid, poor parents. So I mean, that's another thing is just to think of it as you pause. Yeah, you don't know what they're thinking, so maybe it's good stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that helps at all, but it helps me. So thank you again for the questions, and thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe.
Don't ask.
Okay. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.